Welcome to my CBSE English teacher. Today let's look at the third part of the line by line explanation of the chapter The Rat Trap from class 12 English. If you're watching my video for the first time, please subscribe. You can listen to the explanations of chapters from classes 10, 11 and 12 English. And don't forget to press the bell icon so that you get notified whenever I upload a video. Let's move on to the video now. So the ironmaster's daughter had come to the forge and she wanted to take a close look at the person who was lying down near the forge, and so she lifted his hat. As soon as the young girl caught sight of him, she went up and lifted his hat. The man was evidently used to sleeping with one eye open. So the peddler, he always slept with one eye open. But what this girl did, she immediately came close and lifted his hat, and that time his one eye was open. He jumped up abruptly and seemed to be quite frightened. So when the cap was removed, he became frightened and he jumped up and sat. He was, frightened. Suddenly he became startled and he sat up. My name is Edla Wilmanson, said the young girl. So now we know the name of the ironmaster's daughter. What is the name? Edla Wilmanson. So she introduced herself to the peddler. My father came home and said that you wanted to sleep here in the forge tonight. And then I asked permission to come and bring you home to us. So this girl also, just like her father, thought that he was his old comrade or friend. So since the father called him and he did not come, he sent his daughter to bring him home. So she's saying that my father came and told me that you wanted to sleep here near the forge, but then I only asked permission and I wanted to bring you home. So she also requested him to come home along with her. I am so sorry, Captain, that you are having such a hard time. So what did she say? She also looked at him and she also referred to him as Captain, because she also thought that he was Captain Wonsdale, her father's old regimental friend. So she told him, I am also feeling sorry for you because you're going through such a bad time. She looked at him compassionately. What is the meaning of compassion? With great understanding and love for others. So she was such a person. She was a compassionate woman, and with her heavy eyes, and then she noticed that the man was afraid. So when she looked at him compassionately, what did she understand? She understood that the man was actually frightened. Either he has stolen something or else he has escaped from jail. So when she saw the fear in his eyes, she understood one thing. What is that? Either he has stolen somebody's belongings or he has escaped from the jail. That is why he is so frightened. She thought and added quickly, you may be sure, Captain, that you will be allowed to leave us just as freely as you came. So when she saw the fear in his eyes, she wanted to console him. And so what did she say? You come home for the Christmas now, but then you are free to leave home anytime. You can go away whenever you wish. So she assured him that he could go away at any time. Only please stay with us over Christmas Eve. So what was her request? Please come and stay with us for the Christmas Eve. What do you mean by Christmas Eve? The day before Christmas. She said this in such a friendly manner that the rat trap peddler must have felt confidence in her. So when she told all these, he felt great confidence that nothing bad is going to happen if they have invited him home. So he was almost ready to go. It would never have occurred to me that you would bother with me yourself, miss. So what did he say to her? What did he tell her? I didn't think that you will feel so much for me and come here to invite me, he said. I will come at once. And so he readily accepted. Why he readily accepted? Because she said that you can go away anytime and there will not be any problem, she said. She guaranteed that. He accepted the fur coat which the valet handed him with deep bow. So the valet, what's the valet? Valet is a personal assistant. So the valet handed him the fur coat and he accepted it with this man gave it to him with a deep bow. That means he also showed a lot of respect to the peddler. Threw it over his rags and followed the young lady out to the carriage. So he took the fur coat and put it over his rags. Rags are his torn clothes, and followed the young lady to the carriage. So he went along with her to the carriage, is the vehicle, without granting the astonished blacksmiths so much as a glance. So the blacksmiths were astonished because this peddler was being invited home by the ironmaster and his daughter. First, the ironmaster came, he did not accept. The second, the daughter came, and so much they are taking care of him. So that astonished the blacksmiths. So, without looking at the blacksmith, the peddler went along with Edla into the carriage. But while he was riding up to the manor house, he had his evil forebodings. So, while riding in the carriage, he had some evil means bad. Foreboding means thoughts, pre thoughts. What is that thoughts? He was thinking that something bad is going to happen. So, he was having this kind of apprehension or fear that something bad is going to happen. Why the devil did I take that fellow's money? So he was only cursing himself for taking the crofter's money. How much money had he stolen? 30 kronas. So he was feeling that he was caught in a rat trap and that something bad is going to happen because of the theft he had committed. Now I am sitting in the trap and will never get out of it. So he was feeling very bad that he is actually caught in a rat trap because of the money. What was the bait for him? The bait was at 30 kronas. So the next day was the Christmas Eve. So the next day was the day before Christmas. And when the ironmaster came into the dining room for breakfast, he probably thought with satisfaction of his old regimental comrade whom he had run across so unexpectedly. So he went home. So next day morning was the Christmas Eve. And early in the morning at the dining table, what happened? The ironmaster was ready to have his breakfast. And he was feeling so satisfied that he had come across his old regimental friend, and that too in such an unexpected manner. He never expected that he would meet his friend. First of all, we must see to it that he gets a little flesh on his bones. So the ironmaster was so worried about the condition of his friend, and so he told his daughter, we must see to it that he gets a little flesh on his bones. What does that mean? We should make him a little bit healthier, okay, because he was so thin and he was looking very malnourished and all that. So he said, let's give him some good food and make him look better, he told his daughter, who was busy at the table. And then we must see that he gets something else to do than to run around the country selling rat traps. So they were also talking about how to give him some other job instead of running around selling rat traps. They understood that he was selling rat traps because a bunch of rat traps were there with him. It is queer that things have gone downhill with him as badly as that, said the daughter. So the daughter also agreed to her father, and she also said, yes, it's very strange because a man who worked in the regiment can have such a bad position now. I am feeling really bad. So it is very sorry to see that he is in such a bad position. Things have gone downhill means things are in a bad condition. So she was also feeling sorry for the peddler. Last night I did not think there was anything about him to show that he had once been an educated man. So Edla, what did she tell her father? That she told her father that yesterday night when she saw him, there was no evidence that he was an educated man because he was completely dressed like a beggar, and he had torn clothes, he had this bunch of rat traps, he had beard, overgrown hair and all that. So she was saying that nothing about him showed that he was an educated man. You must have patience, my girl, said the father. So the father told the girl, his daughter, that you must have patience. As soon as he gets clean and dressed up, you will see something different. And so he assured her that once this peddler is clean and he is dressed up properly, you can see the difference. Last night he was naturally embarrassed. And last night he was totally embarrassed. He was feeling ashamed because of his condition. So he didn't even want to look at us properly. So this was what the father was trying to convince the daughter. The tramp manners will fall away from him with the tramp clothes. So the tramp manners, the beggar manners will fall away from him with the tramp clothes. So as soon as he sheds his tramp clothes or the rags and puts on clean clothes, all the tramp manners or the beggar mannerisms will also go away, and he will become a clean and perfect man. This is what the ironmaster expected. Just as he had said this, the door opened and the stranger entered. So as soon as they finished the conversation, what happened? The door opened and the stranger entered. Who is the stranger? The peddler. Yes, now he was truly clean and well dressed. So the stranger was looking very clean and well dressed. The valet had bathed him, cut his hair, and shaved him. So their personal assistant, he made him clean. He gave him a bath and cut his hair and shaved him and all that, and made him look very neat and clean. Moreover, he was dressed in a good looking suit of clothes which belonged to the ironmaster, and he also wore the suit of the ironmaster. He wore a white shirt and a starched collar and whole shoes. So he was wearing a good shirt with a good collar, and he was also wearing good shoes. But although his guest was now well groomed, the ironmaster did not seem pleased. So what happened? Although the stranger was looking very neat and clean and was wearing good clothes, the ironmaster was not happy looking at the stranger. He looked at him with puckered brow. What is puckered brow? Wrinkled brow. So that means he shrunk his face and he had some kind of a doubt when he looked at the stranger, because he was looking totally different. It was easy to understand that when he had seen the strange fellow in the uncertain reflection from the furnace, he might have made a mistake. But now, when he stood there in broad daylight, it was impossible to make a mistake for an old acquaintance. He looked very doubtful, because what happened? He was thinking that, he looked at him in the dim light that came out from the furnace, and anybody could make a mistake in identifying a person. But now it is impossible for him to make a mistake, especially to identify his old acquaintance. Acquaintance means friend or a person who is familiar. So he understood that he had made a mistake in identifying the person. What does this mean? He thundered. So he got very angry and he shouted, the ironmaster. What did he shout? What does this mean? So the stranger made no attempt to dissimulate. So the stranger did not make any attempt to dissimulate, means to hide. So he did not try to hide. He saw at once that the splendor had come to an end. So he understood that all the magnificence with which he was being treated was coming to an end now. It's not my fault, sir, he said. So he said, it's not my fault. So he understood that the ironmaster has understood that he is not his friend. So he replied. So he understood that the ironmaster is angry. And so what he said, it's not my fault, sir, he said. I never pretended to be anything but a poor trader. And he said, see, I did not try to show off that I am somebody else. I was only a poor trader. And I pleaded and begged to be allowed to stay at the forge. And I also told you many times that I will stay at the forge and I am not coming here with you. But no harm has been done. So what is he trying to say? See, I didn't do any harm, I didn't steal anything, or I didn't even try to take anything away from you, or I didn't even tell you a lie. At worst, I can put on my rags again and go away. So he said, the worst thing is I can take my old clothes, my torn clothes, I can put it on again and I will go away. Well, said the ironmaster, hesitating a little, it was not quite honest either. Then he said, okay, whatever may be, you were not honest. You could have told that you are only a peddler. Why did you accept and why do you come here? You must admit that I should not be surprised if the sheriff would like to have something to say in the matter. So he said that, okay, I am going to inform this to the sheriff. Sheriff, who is the person who is in charge of the law and order in that area. So he says that I am going to inform this to the sheriff and maybe he will decide what to do. The tramp took a step forward and struck the table with his fist. So immediately the tramp, the beggar, he got very angry, and what did he do? He came forward and he beat the table with his fist. Now I am going to tell you, Mr. Ironmaster, how things are. So he got angry and he started screaming at the ironmaster. and he told him that I will explain things to you. This whole world is nothing but a big rat trap. So he started explaining about his philosophy. Okay, what did he say? The whole world itself is a big rat trap. All the good things that are offered to you are nothing but cheese rinds and bits of pork set out to drag poor fellow into trouble. And he's explaining all the things that you give, all the good things that you show are nothing but the cheese rinds, cheese bits and bits of pork. What are they? They're all the baits. Why are they used? They are set out to drag a poor fellow into trouble. And these baits are nothing but things to attract poor people into the rat trap. And if the sheriff comes now and locks me up for this, then you. And then he started threatening the ironmaster. So he said, if the sheriff comes and threatens me and puts me behind the bars, then you are going to face something. So let's see what he has said. Then you, Mr. Ironmaster, must remember that a day might come when you yourself may want to get a piece of big pork, and then you will get caught in the trap. So he told him that, see, if the sheriff comes and locks me up, then remember, Ironmaster, that one day you're also going to be attracted to some bait and you will also get caught in a trap. The Ironmaster began to laugh. So, hearing his philosophy, the Ironmaster started to laugh. That was not so badly said, my good fellow. Perhaps we should let the sheriff alone on Christmas Eve. But now get out of here as fast as you can. So he told him, okay, whatever you said is good philosophy. But now you get out of here. I want only the sheriff to come here. But just as the man was opening the door, the daughter said, I think he ought to stay with us today. But then, as the father was trying to push out the peddler, what happened? The girl, Edla Wilmanson, came and said, I think we should allow him to stay with us today. I don't want him to go. So she did not want to let the peddler go. And with that, she went and closed the door. What in the world are you doing? Said the father. So the father got angry and asked the daughter, what are you doing? Why do you want to shut the door? And why do you want to let this fellow stay with us? The daughter stood there quite embarrassed and hardly knew what to answer. So the daughter was also not feeling, quite satisfied, but she also did not know what to tell her father and why she wanted the peddler to stay with them. So that morning she felt so happy when she thought how homelike and Christmassy she was going to make things for the poor hungry wretch. So that morning she was feeling very happy because she felt that she would make the peddler feel homelike and feel all the Christmas splendor, especially because nobody was looking after him and he was always hungry. Wretch means a poor beggar who would always be hungry. She could not get away with the idea that all at once, and that was why she had interceded for the vagabond. So she did not want to give away these ideas because she had already planned what are the things she would do to keep this peddler happy for the Christmas. So that's why she had interceded. Interceded means intervened and spoke up for the vagabond, for the peddler. I am thinking of the stranger here, said the young girl. So she was always thinking how to help this poor fellow. I hope you liked today's video. So let's look at the next part of the lesson in my next video. For more informative videos, do subscribe to my CBSE English teacher. Like, share and give your valuable comments below. And don't forget to subscribe. Thank you for watching.